Okay, we're back here. Um, okay, there we go. So we're back here, and Mike, there you go. There's Dallas Goddard with the first down here. I do apologize there. Evie Monks is acting a little weird tonight, so you did get your Dallas Goddard catch there, Mike. So Dallas Goddard is on the field, and gotta get the ball down the field here. Um, uh, I mean, the Eagles do have the ball time of possession battle right now, 20-15. But the only thing that really matters is the score. But need to have a sustained drive or two here because if you get a sustained drive here in this on this drive here, you can get what a play there! Wow, not bad for a concussed quarterback, huh? It helps that you have all these weapons here. Let me tell you, because it felt like he overthrew him, but once he got into that open field, you got to see why the Eagles got him from the Giants. They stole him from the Giants basically in free agency. So they're down to the 17-yard line. Goddard should have gone left. Instead, he went to the right. Yeah, when that first went out of that pass to Barkley went out of his hands at first, I thought, oh, that's too high. But these are drives I talk about time and time again. 5, 6, 7 minute drives, eat clock, make the other team's defense work that much harder. And that's the one thing with Jalen Hurts is um, you do see him get out of bounds a lot. You know, I mean, with a situation like that, there, be happy with 2, 3, 4, whatever it was there. Uh, it was a 2 yard game, but it's 2 yards close to the end zone, even though you still need six for the first down here in a 10-3 game. Come on, AJ, sell the DPI there. And just a crazy stat here. I'm going to wait till after the field goal attempt here. Okay, so it's good. So it's 10-6. I was waiting there. I didn't want to. Um, I did not want to jinx him there. Him meaning Jake Elliott. The crazy thing is with Jake Elliott, I saw this earlier. I don't know if it was online or in a game here, but uh, And Mike says hello. Hi. At least I think that's Mike. It might be Pat. Pat might have stole his phone or whatever. But um, you know, Jake Elliott is okay. So it is Mike. Okay. No, I mean, she might grab your phone and be like, "Give me that." Oh, you. Oh, okay. So yeah, you weren't on Pornhub. Okay, you're on Joe Hub. Maybe that's a new show I need to do, Joe Hub. Anyways, see, me and Mike joke around with that, joke around like that. So, but yeah, so you know, totally lost my train of thought there. So, and thankfully, when Mike's around, he can try to remember what I was talking about. But I think I was tangent upon tangent upon tangent. I don't remember. Um, Jake Elliott. Oh yeah, Jake Elliott this year is 0 for 4 in field goals over 50 yards. So I don't know if that's a microcosm of um, Nick Sirianni going for it all the time on fourth down. I know what you're saying, dude. What the hell are you talking about? I mean, you're not in a routine for getting going for field goals all the time. You're thinking you're going to go for a field goal, and next thing you know, yeah, sit your ass back down on the bench. The routine isn't there. Um, yeah, and Mike agrees with me. It does make a difference because the one thing is, I'm not going to talk X's and O's. I'm going to talk intangibles that sometimes make sense and sometimes do not. So, but I am going to show you guys something uh, in a little bit. And by the way, the Flyers did win in overtime 5-4. The rookie Mikoff scored in overtime. Let me see. Um, it must be on my Facebook because it isn't in my Instagram stories. Let me see if it's on there. Because if it is, I will look for it here. So you got a first down at the 40 here. 40 that gets 4 yards there. How did I not? Yeah, apparently, well, and he may have gotten a yard there. Let me see something here. Well, we have a 3rd and 5 here at the 45. And that's only four guys that were going for the sack there. So starting to get a feel from a couple of years ago when the Eagles had like 70 sacks, that ridiculous number. So they'll have to punt there. So they'll punt it away here. Okay, so you got 11 yards there. That ain't bad. Um, let's see. And I apologize because while we have this time out here, it gives me an opportunity to try to find this here. Uh, um, but while we have this time out, I can. No, it wasn't there. All right, so basically what it was, and all right, I know one other place I can try. Here it is. Here it is. So this was on Barstool Philly. I'm gonna change the screen here. I'll go here. I'm gonna change it to this. And there you go. Because he owns the Washington Commies and he owns the Devils, nobody really gives a shit about hockey in Philadelphia right now because of the fact that the Flyers aren't that good, and a lot of the Flyers fans shockingly left because I thought that they were like, I thought they were like Dallas Cowboy fans where, they'll tell you about the last 2 times the Flyers won the Stanley Cup, but since Josh Harris is the owner of the Washington Commies, somebody was on a bike down by the stadium, I think that is, 1098 fuck Josh Harris, as in 1098 76ers. 1098 fuck Josh Harris. So let's go back to the game here. Got a 1st and 10. Barkley got 9. Did he get was there a face mask there? And they're playing a little no huddle here. It wasn't a horse collar tackle, guys. That is a legal tackle. At least I think it was. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was a legal tackle. But thankfully, Smith got his leg out from underneath him because that would have been devastating. Because that was TO type of a ankle injury there from the Super Bowl year. There you go. This is what I'm talking about. Just little, run the ball, get the ball down the field little by little, make that defense work a little more because guess what? It becomes a lot easier later in the game. Yeah, it seemed like a face mask there. Um, Actually, that's not a face mask. That's grabbing the ear flap. And also, you got to remember the guys in the everybody in the stadium. They don't really have a view of the. I don't know if they'll show a view of the replay, but I'm an Eagles fan, and I'm saying it's not a penalty. Okay, so we reach the end of the third quarter here, 10-6. Yeah, so that's not a penalty. That's not a penalty. I mean, I'm an Eagles fan saying it's not a fucking penalty, okay? If I'm an Eagles fan, I'm saying it's not a penalty. It's not a fucking penalty. Because, he grabbed the ear flap and, there's no iron there or whatever the face mask is made of. It's not a penalty. I mean, would I have loved the phantom call there and 15 yards in the first down? Shit, yeah. But it's not a face mask. You know, but what do I know? And Mike says I am right. Probably. This game's going pretty fast, so which probably means now I said that this game won't end until about 12:30. So feel free to blame me for that. Also, just want to remind you, also eligible will be live Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. AJ is on stud duty this weekend, so our Manny Moda, Frank, will be joining me this Saturday. We're going to be looking at Churchill Downs this weekend. They got the claiming crown races, which is basically championship races for those blue collar horses that don't get the spotlight that the Triple Crown horses do, the horses that end up in the Breeders' Cup and stuff like that. So we're going to look at some of those races on Saturday, beginning at 10 a.m. on the Bleacher Brothers channels, and just to let you guys know. There you go. There's the the command that I have for that. So one thing I got to do this weekend, because I do have a 3-day weekend, as we are um, waiting for the start of the fourth quarter. I got to figure out what commands I have right now, because it took me about 15 minutes the other night to figure out which one is the one for also eligible. Is my TV acting up, or is the TV real? Okay. Let's see. He was short. It depends on where that foot is. Yep, that's a first down. Replay assist there. And thankfully, we have gotten almost no rain for like the last 2 months, so the field wasn't soggy or anything like that, where his foot would have slid a little more into out of bounds territory. But if Gainwell gets a nice run there for about 12 or 13 there, I'll tell you what. And Mike says here we score a touchdown and get a defensive stop and a field goal to end the game. Well, if that happens, my pick from last night will be a winner chicken dinner. Um, Now, granted, I gave out a pick on Instagram, but on Rebet the line was all the way up at 4.5, and I wouldn't normally play it, but I was promoting Rebet and Bleacher Brothers in my show, so this is exactly what I'm talking about, Mike. Little by little, you start wearing down the defense, and the next thing you see if they can stop you. But the one thing is, I think Gainwell is an underrated running back with the Eagles. Um, I think Saquon has actually helped him as well. I mean, whether that's true or not, who knows? But you get the idea. And there's people like me that are saying, all right, there's people like me that are saying, put Barkley in the fucking game, and I think they just did. And Mike beat me to it. He does gain well. And my phone's going off left and right again. There you go. Ah. Can we get a replay assist here again? Okay, yeah. His knee was down. There you go. And you know he's cleared a concussion protocol if they went with that play there. So there you go. Fly, Eagles, fly. And thankfully, Sirianni isn't doing anything stupid and going for two here. You know, kind of like, oh, Jesus Christ. Well, here's one stat I'm going to share with you guys here. Um, yeah, so Jake Elliott has the hooks tonight. You know, but thankfully he's not like O.J. Simpson because you know O.J. Simpson had a killer slice. But anyways, here's the stat that um, let me do it this way. Jalen Hurts has a chance to be the first quarterback, the first 2020 player in NFL history, meaning 20 passing TDs, 20 rushing touchdowns. That's 11 for him now. So that's one thing there. So I'm going to go back over here, back to me here for a second on the regular screen here, because I'm going to share one other thing here. And whoever did this is one um, hell of an artist there. Yeah, it's not going to do it. It's not going to let me zoom out. Crossing Broad. Somebody superimposed Nick Sirianni's face there. Sir, take the points. Now, granted, that is something from, that's from 9/11, and it is it's one of the darkest days in our history. But the fact that we can joke around with something like that, with joking around with, sir, take the points and all that. So, it is a little funny there. Funny, haha. Not funny, strange. Funny, haha. Not many, haha. But, you get the idea. So, and I'll tell you one thing here. If this happens next week in LA, then yeah, we do have a problem. But these things happen. Unfortunately, it happens on a national stage. If we get a timeout here, I'm going to show something here. All right, so so there's not going to be a timeout here. So after next timeout, I'm going to show something here, especially if we get a quick get uh, a quick um, and you see the on that graphic on Amazon there, Quinyon Mitchell shutting down Scary Terry tonight. He's been shutting down everybody this year. John Bates, his nickname, Master. First down there. Huh? What was that? What was that about really, Mike? Or was that something I missed on TV? Oh, yeah. Come on. It came from me. You expect that shit from anybody else? No, you expect it from me. And you can see that, when he gets somebody in his face, he is going to get rattled. Great twisted minds think alike. You got that right. McLaurin got away from Mitchell there. Even probably got onto the opposite side of the field for once. Another first down there. Oh no, it wasn't a first down, but this will be. Nope. He got held and still got the guy. So we got a third down here. Now, Nick Sirianni would probably go for it here, but Dan Quinn is a little more old school, I would think. No, they're going for it. Here's the game right here, people. And Daniels almost fumbled that play, too. So I think we're going to get the timeout here, the TV timeout. Yeah, see, he fumbled it, and almost 76 almost took that. Now, if he doesn't fumble that and 76 grabs that, that's an illegal forward pass because that's an eligible receiver there that caught it. But the Eagles get the ball there. They will be at the 26-yard line when they come back here. So I do want to show something here, and this may prove my argument with um, running the ball and all that stuff. So there we go. So actually, you know what? Let me do it this way. Go here. There we go. So here we go. From the start of the game, 11 play drive, 44 yards, 505. You know, not that long of a time, but numerous plays. Washington, 3 plays and punt. Eagles, 6 plays and punt. 4 plays and a touchdown there. Okay. Eagles, nothing there. Three and out. Three and out Washington. 7 plays, 15 yards. That was a 51-yard attempt. Yeah, they got the ball in good territory there. Washington, 3 plays, nothing. 3 plays, nothing. 9 plays. You know, that's the most sustainable drive in terms of plays that they've had. And this was the key drive. 15 plays, even though it's only 352, it's 15 plays. It's being out in the field play after play after play. Washington tried to put something together, ended a half. 8 plays, field goal, pretty sustainable. Eagles answer with the field goal. 10 plays, 5 plays, 11 plays. So you see that all the last 3 drives that the Eagles had, 36 plays combined. And you see 87 yards, 74 yards, 76 yards. So they're starting to affect the Washington defense there. And that's what the Eagles have to do in order to win games. So let me pull that back up here because I screwed up there. There we go. But you see this defense is so much better from last year. Time for the closer. Agreed. And just to remind you, everyone, that after the game here, I will be giving out my picks for the weekend. So uh, we will do that afterwards. Uh, got some college games and some pro games. Um, all right. One thing I'll say that's a hell of a play there, and that's what they've been teaching defenses to do for the last 5, 10 years: punch the ball out. And I don't care. I don't care what you say there. That's definitely that was coming out no matter how secure that arm was. But you're starting to see the Eagles' offense, even though they haven't put up many points tonight in this typical NFC East battle. It's just pound and pound and pound and pound. And thankfully, Calcaterra was there to save the day. So you got about 4 or 5 on that play. Um, 6 yards. So they're at the 23 here. And you almost have to go for it on fourth down if you get a yard or two here because of the fact that Jake Elliott has been so inconsistent tonight. Well, you don't have to worry about that. That's exactly what I was telling you. Pound the ball, pound the ball, pound the ball, and the next thing you know, you got yourself a touchdown. And Lane Johnson knew it right away that he was gone. Yeah. Now, if this was a rookie kicker or an inexperienced kicker, if this was an inexperienced kicker, this guy would have been cut. But since it's Jake Elliott, since it's a guy who's been in two Super Bowls, kicked a huge field goal at the end of Super Bowl 52, has kicked big field goals time after time after time for the Eagles. You know, if this were to happen in LA next week, then you start to worry. But, he's got 10 days to work on it and he may be on his own doing shit even tomorrow trying to figure this out. But these things happen from time to time. I mean, even if we want to talk baseball here, every once in a while you just get the yips and you're swinging off the ball and you're not your head's way out here and you're trying to swing your head's way out away from everything. So that happens from time to time. And that's thankfully that's why you have an extra couple of days off here. So um, but yeah, it's I mean, I'd be a little worried about it, but I'm not too worried about because I think because he's a veteran, that he's yeah, like Mike says, Elliott will be okay. Now, if this was a rookie, I'd be worried. But I think that him being in a couple of Super Bowls um, and being so consistent over the years, and like I said earlier, it may just be the repetition that he hasn't gotten because Nick Sirianni wants to go with analytics. It may just, or it may just be that it's just one of those days. Every once in a while you get one of those days where something goofy happens, you know, but, and I got a suggestion for NBC next Sunday. Can they have Dallas Goddard and Cooper Cup do a spoof Geico Caveman commercial? Now, the key here is a two-touchdown game, two-score game. And you may get to the point here where if you get under, if it takes them a while to score, they may go for the field goal first. All right, so let's see the replay here because, um, as long as he does not double double, he'd be fine. Okay. But we'll see here. Let's Oh yeah. Okay. I don't know why I was so worried. I guess it's just because as long as it's not double doink, okay. But yeah, I was a little worried there only because of the fact that um, the way that the initial camera angle was, the way that he caught it to the side. But I think you're seeing some great video that teams can use to stop Jaden Daniels because the NFL is a copycat league, and when they start seeing something, they're going to repeat what the Eagles are doing here. So, um, but you know, and I just wanted to see the replay just because the way that angle was, the way he caught it on the side a little bit. I just wanted to see I wanted to see that replay before I considered it an interception there. But hey, look, there's Cooper Cup. But you're looking at now you got 4 minutes left in this game. The way that this offense has, the ball control offense pounding the ball. They got to go. Defense has to go back on the field here. I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles score another touchdown here. I really wouldn't. And like Mike said, closer. They're closing things out like they always do, or like they have done since the bye week. There's a rookie mistake there. See what I mean there? Another huge hole. You can see that the Eagles wore down the Washington defense, and you know, and it's getting harder and harder with every passing week. It's getting harder with every passing week that they stay under the radar. I mean, especially like next week, they're going to be on national TV on NBC. You got a couple of 4 o'clock games coming up. I mean, well, and as I said, don't be surprised if they score again. Are they reviewing this? The game clock's running. The play clock's running, so I guess not. But when he first went over the goal line, I thought, oh shit, the Deshaun Jackson play where he left the ball at the 1 yard line. And that's the straightest kick he's had all night when the pressure's off. And yes, I have to do it with this arm because my right arm is still fucked up, but I patted myself on the back there, Mike. So this game's starting to get a little out of control here, 26-10. And Eagles are showing why they are the team to beat in the NFC East right now. I almost said NL East. I think I stopped myself just in time.
Introducing KFC's original recipe tenders, made with a secret blend of 11 herbs and spices,
But, you know,
with our zesty new comeback sauce. Just $5 for 3 tenders, fries, and comeback sauce. Let the feast begin.
Barbie, you shouldn't have. Verizon all home Wi-Fi, so we get internet in every room of the dream house.
My blender!
but you know, but you're seeing exactly what they're. Yeah, you see what exactly the Eagles need to do to win, and but when you see the schedule here coming up for the Eagles, I'm going to share my tab here. Got next Sunday, the 24th. Yeah, Daniels has a great future, just not today. You know, he's got some growing pains he has from time to time. So here's the schedule for the rest of the way here. Eagles go to LA. They have a couple extra days off. Then they get a huge game with Baltimore. That may be a winnable game because of the fact that Baltimore's defense hasn't been pressing me the last few weeks. But you know that's a huge game in Baltimore. Dare I say Super Bowl preview? Then you have that trap game with Carolina. Then you have Pittsburgh on the 15th at Washington. I would not be surprised if this ends up being a Sunday night game on Week 16. Then you have Dallas, and then you have that flex game in Week 18, which may end up being a Saturday game if it doesn't matter at all. So, but things looking good for the Eagles now. Uh, you know, the bye came at the perfect time for the Eagles. And you know, sometimes you just sometimes you do just have a bad day, and you know, and Jaden Daniels does have a bright future. It's just you know, you're catching the Eagles at the wrong time right now. There's a hold. They didn't call it. But the key there is the clock continues to run. All right, who's the penalty on? Okay. When whether this was a 16-point game or a tie game, you're always worried in a close game like this, as I had the wrong screen up. Um, you, you're always like, all right, well, they're going to get us. But they did call it a catch. Okay, first down. I'm going to check one thing here while we're talking here about the games here. Um, so you got a 2nd and 10 here with 3.5 minutes to go. Uh, all right, so yeah, but you could have called a hold there on the offense too. I could have gone two different ways there. But either way, you do have a first down here. Daniels got 5 there. Daniels only has 18 yards rushing tonight. So they pretty much kept him from getting a big gain here and there. I mean, Hertz has 40 yards rushing. Now, the key is Washington only has 2 timeouts left, if that graphic is right. And apparently it is because ESPN's showing the same thing. So you got a 3rd and 5 here. Let's see. Okay, so we're at the 2-minute warning here. Um, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen again here. I'm going to switch screens here. As they had the 2-minute warning, but they didn't go to a timeout here. So here's the schedule. Here's the schedule for the week of the Eagles Washington rematch on the 22nd. Tampa Bay and Dallas is the 8:20 game. NBC wants to get rid of that game badly. I can tell you that right now. I don't care. I don't care how much you love the Dallas Cowboys and how much rankings are. You want a playoff match up there, and New York, Atlanta, no. New England, Buffalo, no. Detroit, Chicago, Tennessee, Indianapolis, no. Rams and Jets, no. Arizona, Carolina, no. Denver and LA, Minnesota, Seattle, So, you got the best matchup there. That's the best matchup of the weekend. Fox may try to block it, but, Fox may try to block that from going to, um, may block that from going to NBC, but, I think, but there's all other rules that keeps teams from going to another games going to NBC and other networks. So okay, so you get the first down, but right in the middle of the field. So you're right around 100 seconds left here. And right now it's death by million paper cuts for the Eagles defense. All right, we'll give you 5 yards, but we're gonna make you work for every 5 yards, and it's gonna kill the time, and you're too dumb to not take a timeout. Another example right there. They only get about 6 inches, and the clock goes tick, 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 tick. And there's a little over/under reference there. I wouldn't necessarily say out of reach because you still have the onside kick here. I mean, the onside kick, you have a 2% chance of getting the ball on an onside kick here, but it's better than zero shot. But also, you have to remember Washington has to go for 2 here if they think they have any shot here. So there's a touchdown to make it 26-16. Now you got to tighten the defense up and make sure you don't give up the 2 points here, because then you make the onside kick a moot point here, or the kickoff for that matter. Because if it's a 10-point game, if they don't get the 2 here, might as well just kick it deep. 28 seconds left. Sirianni calls a timeout there.
There are no timers set.
And I have to watch when I talk about the Eagles head coach because it's so close to SIRI on my phone that I just set my phone off. And at least I know that it talks to me, because I was trying to do something the other day and it wouldn't talk back to me. I'll try that in a second here. There were 3 penalties that they missed on that play. No, he didn't. He only had 1 foot down. No, but he regrips. But watch him regrip as well. Yeah, the toe's down there, but the thing is, watch him regrip a couple of times. But he's regripping the ball. He regrips the ball a couple of times, so that tells me it's an incomplete pass. Watch. But you don't see the regrip because the back judge is blocking the view there. Here's where you'll see the regrip. Here you go. See the hands. I don't think he had control of the ball. I don't agree with that call. Ooh, excuse me. My one team, as we wait for the kickoff here, I have one team that has both Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. Uh, Jalen Hurts 18.84, Saquon 33.8. Okay, game over. And watch Washington call timeout and watch the reaction from the fans here. Okay. Now the one thing is, if I'm the coach there, I call the timeout. Why not? Make them snap it 3 different times. At least that's me. But either way, Eagles win 26-18. Eagles are now 8-2 on the year. or 8-3. No, 8-2. I'm sorry, 8-2. Washington's now 7-4. Eagles have a game and a half lead on the Washington Commanders, aka Commies. And the Eagles are right up there with the Detroit Lions right now, who are 8-1. So Eagles win 26-18. Do have one story here before I go into um, the um, before I go into the I'll remove that layer. We'll go back to this. And by the way, this I randomly created just for tonight, so it wasn't exactly what I wanted, but it did the job. So let's get out of Amazon Video. So I do want to mention one story here. The Rays have we want to do this.
Tom Brady's Rose. Tom Brady's Rose was the biggest thing that Netflix has had in comedy. They don't release exact numbers.
I'm just trying to get rid of something here.
And the future, as we all know, of money in this business. Businesses too.
Huh. Whoops. That's not what I wanted. But, one thing there we go. We stopped sharing there. So one story here before we get to the, and by the way, if you were watching the show last night, I did give the Eagles out at 3.5. I gave it out on rebet at -4.5, and it's still covered. So congrats to me. But I did not get my touchdown for AJ Brown. So let me just do this. Okay. So there we go. So one little story here, and it's been scrolling all night. The Rays will be playing adjacent to St. Petersburg, as they will be playing at Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, Florida, the New York Yankees spring training home for this year. The Tampa-based spring training facility of the division rival New York Yankees, they will be using that for the 2025 season after Hurricane Milton. Let me see here.
Be ready to kick things off, and you can literally sign up today. First Trust Bank, the official bank of the Philadelphia Eagles. The holidays. Yeah, holiday trips.
So they're going to play in George Steinbrenner Field in the northern part of Tampa. Basically, this is what Rob Manfred wanted. He wanted to try to keep Tampa Bay in the area, which was their goal. So they will be playing in Tampa. Now it seats 11,000, which is probably about the average for the Tampa Bay Rays if you think about it. But the only problem is you're going to be outdoors all summer, and that's when the issues are the weather issues are going to be the case there. But um, so it is the home of the single A affiliate Tampa Tarpons, which were formerly known as the Tampa Yankees. Um, so the Rays had considered other facilities in the area, but Steinbrenner Field was the most major league ready option. And the Yankees and Rays struck a deal that will pay New York for the use of the facility. So basically, they're paying rental fees for the 81 games. So that's why, and they'll get a cut as well of the ticket sales and everything else. So it's singularly the best opportunity for our fans to experience 81 games of Major League Rays baseball, according to Rays owner Stuart Sternberg. Um, as difficult as it is to get any of these stadiums up to Major League standards, it's the least difficult. So, they're going to probably have to add some lights, but it's not that big of a deal. You're going to see Major League Baseball in a small environment. But the Rays will be in Port Charlotte, where their spring training facility is for the Grapefruit League. But they will go to Steinbrenner Field just before the opening day on March 27th. Um, um, Manfred said in a statement, well, before I get to that, Tampa Bay will use the stadium full time. The Tarpons are expected to use fields in the area for the 2025 season. So, I mean, that's the only thing I don't like here is that the team that plays there originally, they're going to have to find other fields to play. The way it read right now, it seems like it's going to be like one of the back fields of the stadium of their stadium. But yeah, I just wonder if maybe if the Rays aren't in town, they get to play on the field. I don't know, but that's just me thinking aloud here. Um, or they're expected to use other fields in the area. So I imagine the way that that's worded, it sounds like if the Rays are on the road, the Tarpons may be there ready. The Tarpons may use the field as well. So, but just be that it'll be like 140 games on the field. But um, so Rob Manfred said today, given the significant challenges caused by Hurricane Milton, I appreciate the hard work and collaboration between the two teams that allowed the Rays to make the best decision for next season. This outcome meets Major League Baseball's goals that Rays fans will see their team play next season in their home market and that their players can remain home without disruption to their families. So, it's a little bit of healing with the hurricane. It's a little bit of keeping the family together. It's a little bit of everything there. So, um, but as you know, the October 9th hurricane, the damage from the hurricane will cost $55.7 million to repair for it to be ready by 2026. And the city of Tampa, the city of St. Petersburg may say, nah, I'd rather use the 56 million elsewhere. But but I think insurance. There's going to be some insurance costs that insurance is going to cover this as well. Um, but um, but they will play uh, at, at Steinbrenner Field. Um, Steinbrenner Field is currently undergoing a significant upgrade to its home clubhouse. So it needed the fewest modifications to reach major league standards. So, and the thing is with the Yankees, they got the money, so they're going to make sure that their spring training home is almost major league specs when it comes to clubhouses and stuff like that. So, yeah, but um, but you're going to have two teams that are going to be playing in minor league stadiums this year coming up. You got Oakland, who's going to be playing in Sacramento. Well, the A's, because they're no longer the Oakland A's; they're just the Athletics. They're going to be playing at Sutter Health Park in Sacramento, um, and you are going to see Steinbrenner Field being used by the Rays. Um, and the last team to play in a minor league facility was the Blue Jays, if you remember. They played regular season games. It says 2020, but they also played some games in 2021 in Dunedin and Buffalo, New York, because of the COVID restrictions. But but you do have that, and they will be playing in Yankee. They'll be playing at the Yankees' home come baseball season. So that is the last of the stories that I have planned. I did have one story I was going to do for the stupid shit that I saw segment that I do from time to time, but I couldn't find the story that that had the video as well, so I can read along and show you the video. But it was a funny story. Maybe if I find a good enough story and I bookmark it for Monday, maybe I'll show it. So, but anyway, so let's get to the NFL picks. And we did have another winner tonight. Yay me. Let me see if I updated the. Let's see one thing first. Okay, I did update it. So I had a loss there. Minus 1.1. I know I shouldn't be doing this on air, but fuck it. So yesterday was 11-13. NFL. Philadelphia. Minus 3.5. I think was minus 110, but that's all moot. Because that is a win and a +1 for me. Okay, so far since I brought it back in the middle of August, I am 31-48, 39% winning percentage, total shit. But I'm down to 17.72 units down, so I'm still in a huge hole. But we were at 21 units, minus 21 units at one point, so we did make up almost 4 units so far. So we're gonna go to my picks for the weekend. I do apologize for yawning here. This is a little late for me when it comes to streaming. Go here to. Let's begin with college football here. Share my screen here. Boom. And let's go. Add the scene. There we go. So we're all set here. So all the college games are Saturday. All the pro games are Sunday. Here are my picks. I'm going to write them down, even though I'm going to be screenshotting them and posting them on SJ's Discord. So let me pull that up too. Let me do this real quick. There we go. So I had to do that first. So anyway, so here we go. Got some interesting games this weekend. I'm going to begin locally, and I am taking AJ's advice here. FAU takes on Temple down at the link. Guarantee you that it'll be less than 5,000 fans there. Temple's a 2.5-point favorite here. Temple got blown out by Tulane. Florida Atlantic has been horrible this year. They fired a couple of their assistant coaches. Their head coach their head coach may not be long for the job there, because a lot of times when you have teams that are struggling like that, and you fire assistant coaches and stuff like that, you know that your job is next. But Temple's a 2.5 point favorite here over Florida Atlantic. Florida Atlantic has been a fade team on Bleacher Brothers all year. We're going to go with Temple here. I'm going to take AJ's advice. Going to take Temple minus the 2.5 here at minus 110. And the one thing is here, ladies and gentlemen, if the odds change between now and when I take the screenshot or when I review it, we'll go with whatever line is at the end there. So Temple minus 2.5 is my first play. All right, and since we had a matchup of two trash teams, I'm going to go after another trash team here, Utah State. They're playing Hawaii in Utah State, and I checked the forecast. Now, there may be little to no accumulation, but it may snow at Utah State this weekend in Orem, Utah. So keep that in mind. A lot of the Hawaii football players are probably like, what's this white shit? No, it's not cocaine, ladies and gentlemen. It's snow. And I think playing in the cold, a lot of the players are probably not used to playing in the cold as well. And then you're playing at altitude. And also you're going to be playing in the cold and possibly snow. You know, this is a matchup of two bad teams. And I'll take Utah State on the money line here, plus 114 here. So Utah State money line, plus 114. And this is not showing up the way I wanted it to. Hold on. This isn't coming up the way I want to hear. So hold on. I think I got to log in here. So 1 second. I mean, I don't think the 6-digit code matters that much, but
this is where tradition and innovation converge for the perfect car buying experience. Welcome to Toyota Cadillac, your home for America's most iconic automotive brand. Starting with a luxurious all-wheel drive XT5, now just $499 a month. Lease the full-size XT6.
All right, they're trying to pinpoint my location here. I'm in Philadelphia, motherfucker. There we go. And yeah, I got 3 cents in my account. Fuck me. Fuck my life. So there we go. So I told you to take Temple. Boom. There we go. Now we got it right. So plus 114 for Utah State. Penn State goes to Purdue, and Purdue is PU in more ways than one. Oops, let me go back over to here. Purdue is PU this year. Penn State is coming off of a win over Washington last week, and you can tell I don't watch Penn State football because I'm thinking they played Ohio State last week, which did not happen. Yeah, they beat Washington 35-6. I had Penn State last week too. I'm going to ride the Penn State train like Jerry Sandusky rode those little boys. And we'll take Penn State minus 29 here. It's a huge line, but Purdue is that bad. So Penn State minus 110. Or minus 29 and minus 110. And the other game here is a late game. And we're going to go to the Big 12. We're going to go back to Utah for the Stormin' Mormons of BYU. They're taking on Kansas. Kansas is Kansas is 3-6 on the year, 2-4 in the conference. BYU 6-0. They had a controversial win last week um, over Utah at Utah. Utah right now would have a bye in the first round, being the Big 12 representative right now. So, I don't understand why this is a 3-point line. Maybe I'm missing something here, but actually, even though we're going by this line, you might want to shop around a little bit because when you look at the ESPN site that I'm looking up the odds and stuff like that, not the odds but the records, uh, ESPN bet has it at 2.5, but it's a field goal here, which basically they're saying neutral field. They're saying this is a toss up on a neutral field. I do not agree. I'll take the Storm and Mormons at -3 at -105. So my college picks for this weekend, I'll take Temple -2.5 at -110. I'll take Utah State on the money line at +114. Penn State -29 at -110. And BYU -3 at -105. And just to let you guys know, if you're ever wondering what those -110s and 105s mean, I'll get into it here. We're already 2.5 hours in, even though it's the second stream. Basically, -110 means you bet $110 to win 100. Now, do you have to bet $110 to win 100? No. You can bet $10, and the computer will prorate that up or down to whatever your wager is. So let's say you bet $25, it'll say $25 to win 47.72, whatever it is. All right, so let's do this here. 25. There you go. You see it right there in green there. $25. If I were to bet $25, if Temple were to cover, I would get 47.72. Now, a plus number, you get $100 plus that. So you would get $214 back if you bet 100. Now, I like to play $25, so I would get $53.50 back. If you wanted to play 10, you would get $21.40 back. It's all based on what your increment is. So, and the thing is, you may only want to play $5. That's fine. I'm not going to shame you into that. I'm not going to shame you if you bet $5. But whatever you wager, bet within your means. And if you have a gambling problem, dial 1-800-GAMBLER. So, and I told you about the 110, 105. It's 105 to win 100. Because what they're trying to do with this money is they're trying to get the money to one side where they're going to be try not to lose money on this game. So that's why they tinker with the VIGs and stuff like that. So, but that's what you see there, -105 here for BYU. So those are my college picks here. Hopefully we go 4-0 this weekend. We went 2-1 in college, and we went 2-2 on the pros. But we had a good start to the week. We just didn't finish it up. But on to the National Football League here, Week 12, and it'll be a great 3-day weekend for me because I don't have to worry about the Eagles playing because they won. Yay. First game. Let's go right from the start here. Baltimore and Pittsburgh. And this is probably the top rivalry in the NFL, aside from the New York Giants and winning. Baltimore's a 3.5-point favorite, and I wish SJ was on here right now because she would have clipped that for me. I might clip that later. But anyways, Baltimore's a 3.5 point favorite here. I'm not worried about this. Some of the games that they played on here, they barely gotten to 30 points. Now, I understand. It's Lamar Jackson. It's the fact that Russell Wilson is getting points for the Steelers and they're getting the ball down the field. But these are two teams that do not like each other. It's a blood rivalry that goes back to the Cleveland Browns days because, even though you look at the NFL history, technically Baltimore is an expansion team. They left their history in Cleveland and went to Baltimore. So that rivalry has been in place for decades upon decades. And the last 10 matchups been 2 or 3 point games. I mean, if it wasn't minus 118, I would just tell you play plus 3.5. But this has the feel of a 17-14 game, and you're telling me 48.5? Thank you very much. I'll take Baltimore and Pittsburgh under 48.5 at minus 110. Second game. I was watching Bridget Case's stream before the game, and unfortunately, her Hunch Island play was her Hunch Island thing that she does on her page was at halftime of the Eagles game, so I couldn't do anything there because I want to see something here. This is just shits and giggles. This isn't game specials. No. Team props. You know what? I'm going to do 2 wagers on this game. The last time the last time they had a line this huge was against Tennessee, and they scored, what was it, 56 points? Let me double check that here. They scored 52 and won 52-14. You got a backup quarterback playing for Jacksonville. This game is going to be ugly. You know what? I wish there was more to this here because I said on Bridget Case's stream tonight, I would not be surprised if Detroit puts a 50 burger on them. But since it's only going to 40, since it's only going to 40 and a half, let's go over 40 and a half total team points for over 40 and a half points for the Detroit Lions. And since we're doing that, we might as well do 2 wagers on this game. Let's go back here. And with that, we're also going to take the Lions minus 14 at minus 108. I just feel like this is going to be a major blowout because, they're saying it's a 14-point game with a 47 line. This screams. And thank you, Bank Boy, for clipping that. Welcome in. Actually, somebody clipped that for me. Let me check that out here real quick. Don't worry about the Eagles playing because they won. Yay. First game. Let's go right from the start here. Baltimore and Pittsburgh. And this is probably the top rivalry in the NFL, aside from the New York Giants and winning. Okay. Baltimore's a 3.5. All right, thank you, Bank. I had to share that with SJ tonight on her Discord. She's going to kill me for that, but do I care? But anyways, my third pick here, we're going to take the point spread on there as well. So I just want to make sure that was the right clip. So that's actually going to go on my TikTok tonight as well. I have a TikTok. I don't use it often. I just use it to promote the site. So Detroit minus 14, and we're going to go one more here, and this is going to be an upset special here. The Rams look like total shit against Miami, and they are going to New England. They're going to be playing a Sunday early game, which means their body clocks are going to be 10 a.m. New England got that win over Chicago. Could be looking at an ugly game here. I would tell you take the under here, but I'm going to take the New England Patriots in an upset here. At plus 170 on the money line. So I'm still laughing at that. But anyways, thankfully they didn't get the Jerry Sandusky comment I had earlier tonight. But anyway, so New England plus 170 on the money line here tonight. So my picks for the NFL, Baltimore and Pittsburgh under 48.5. The Lions over 40.5 points scored. I think they're going to put a 50 burger up. Bank Boy saw me mention that on Bridget Case's stream tonight. I just think that's screaming a major blowout. Also take the Lions minus 14. If you can turn that into a single game parlay of some sort, do it. But it was telling me as you can see there, unfortunately, not all your picks can be parlayed. Maybe if you can do those two into a single game parlay of some sort, see if you can do that. But just me thinking outside the box here. And the New England Patriots money line at plus 170. So those are my 4 pro picks. I gave you my 4 college picks. And that will be it for yours truly on this Thursday night. Just a reminder, on Monday night, as this is annoying me, just a reminder on Monday night, we will be back with another edition of the Joe Quill Show. This Monday will be the first show that I will be streaming to the Bleacher Brothers X. And, and once again, I will say this to you guys on X. It has nothing to do with the election, even though you'll probably say it. And if you do, go right ahead. I don't care, whatever. But anyways, so I will be on my YouTube. I will be on on the Bleacher Brothers YouTube. I will be on my Twitch, which is the preferred streaming method, and also on the Bleacher Brothers X. So we will do that, and we'll do it live at 9:00. Mike will be in studio. I will be winding down a 3-day weekend. Mike, we may have a different look on Monday if I can get my bedroom cleaned out, because I think we're going to try something different on Monday night. But or even if you get up here a little bit earlier, we can play around with the sound a little bit earlier. So, but anyway, so that's it for this 2-part show, because we had a little bit of a gremlins with the with EV Bucks, but we're all good now. So, but I do appreciate everybody who's watching tonight. Mike, Bank Boy, anybody who's watching, lurking around, that's fine. I'm not gonna be upset if you're just lurking around, because like I said, not everybody likes to talk. They want to listen. Me, when I was in school, I needed to learn that way. I didn't like talking and conversation and stuff like that, even though that is a good way of learning. Me in school, it was me consuming the information. That's probably why I retained so much useless information. But anyway, so that is it for this show on this Thursday night. Do appreciate everybody. Um, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to go rate Action Labs. So Never mind, they're offline. Okay, forget that. So we're just going to close up shop here for the night, everybody. So we will do it live Monday night at 9 o'clock Eastern. And also, just a reminder, um, we will be live. Um, we will be live on also eligible in the Bleacher Brothers channel starting at 10 a.m. It'll be me and Frank. We'll be looking over the races from Churchill Downs on Saturday. So, all right. So that's it, everybody. And that was the one, the impromptu banner I created for tonight when I had the ESPN page up and everything. So that's it for now. Do appreciate everybody who watched, and we'll do it live Monday at 9 p.m. Remember, if you're watching on X, you got to watch it on Bleacher Brothers. It's more of a money thing than it is Elon. But if you want to blame it on the politics, go right ahead. I don't give a shit. So have a great night, everybody, and I'll see you in the winner's circle. Have a great night. See you Saturday, if not Saturday morning, on Monday morning. And go prep.